Good morning, Flosstube. It's Lynette here. Finally getting back to making a Flosstube. I looked up my notes. It was February when I made the last one, and it wasn't meant to be this long. But I have moved in the meanwhile, which took a lot of effort. And a couple of weeks ago, I thought I'll film one today, and then I had to look after a sick grandchild, and you know how it goes. So anyway, we're back here. This is Flosstube number 15. It's June the 20th, and I have quite a few things to show. A bit rambly in their order, but let's see how we go. So the first thing I've worked on is Death by Cross Stitch, which came up in a few prompts from various places. I am very pleased to be able to show you where I've got to with this. So this is the full design, and the green is all the bits I've done. So it's well over halfway, and I really enjoy it when I pick it up. So this is what it looks like, and I'm in a different location obviously, and I have to get used to how everything's going to work. And I have reached the bottom corner on the left. So this is using DMC 501. It's 2 over 1 on 18 count Ada, which is not what I do anymore, but it's working out okay. And of course it's in my lovely Carol and Manning diamond flower cross stitch I did and turned into a project bag. And you can still get that pattern on the English Lakeside Needlecraft website, I think it is, in England. It was a stitch along. Then I have been working on the Fox and Rabbit stitch along. I've actually finished June, which sounds really impressive considering I actually haven't finished any of the other months, but I've been working around bits of it so that each month I can actually start the next one. But the hope was June. I might need to do a little bit more of whatever's up here so I can actually start the July one. This is, I think it's a 36 count, I'm not quite sure what, and I'm working at 1 over 2 with a Silks for You red, and I'm sorry, I don't know what the number is. So that's those two. I've been getting the Country House samplers. Oh, I'm keeping my Fox and Rabbit one in this pencil case, which I got because I couldn't resist it, and then I thought, oh, it belongs in there. I've been getting the Fabulous House series, and the plan was to start each one, but it's all been a bit chaotic. So number 4 is actually started. You can see the top corner of the house there, just a bit of that done. I love getting the that's Bean Sprout, the classic Colourworks, and then the other DMC. What else have I got? I got the Hobbit House. You'll have seen these if you've been following it, which I was going to start straight away and didn't. That came with Brown Hen, and you can see I actually pulled some threads for it. But that's as far as that one. And then we've just got the Tree House, which has hickory sticks. And I want to start that one soon too, but I've just got so much happening. It's a bit hard to go, and I'm just watching my pile about to slide. So I'm keeping those in a Barbara Anna Christmas stitch along cross stitch I turned into a project bag. Oh, and then I've just got my extra linen in there because I cut all the linen separately at the beginning of the year with such high hopes. Then we did in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, which you know I like to follow, and I have a June plan, and I'll let you know when I get to those. Actually, the Fox and Rabbit one was, so the June challenge is To the Parade, and the acrostic is Float, and F was for Fox and Rabbit, and my goal was to finish June, which I did. And the L from Float was Lots of Green for Death by Cross Stitch, and that was to finish page 9, and I've also done that. I haven't finished anything else on there, but we'll get to that. They had a pop-up challenge called Mother May We, which was a bit of fun, where Robin asked Mother May We stitch on something or other, and then Caroline was Mother, and she had to say yes or no and tell us what to stitch on. So it was fun, and it got a bit of work done. So I worked on, I haven't got everything quite in order here. This Lucy Bean chart that I've had for a while. Maria Casson 1822, and I think one of the prompts was a border, and I think one of the prompts was floral, so I used it for both of those. I'd actually finished the border, but so I think I did a little bit more of this 1/1 up the top, and I did the pot plant for those two challenges. It's always the way, you always enjoy all these things, but then you have so many of them. So that's that one. And then another challenge, I think, was something with people. I'm sorry, I'm leaning over here. I did Noah's Ark, because it's got a Noah on it. He's a man, he's a person. And I think I worked a bit more on his arm and started this bird here. That's big though, you know. Look, I'm up here and I've got all this to go. I think this will be fun when these smaller ones. Noah's quite big, and I'm assuming that the ark is quite big as well. My pile is all sliding off to the side of me. It's all the plastic bags I've got. Sorry, I'll just move some of this to the other side. Apologies for all the leaning across. Got to get used to doing this all again now. What else have I got? I can't remember what else I did for that Mother May We pop-up challenge. I think there were 5, and then we had a choice of another one for the 6th. We had a bonus one in it. I can't remember. I have worked on this though. This is, I love this. Gathering Together Pinkeep by Scattered Seed Samplers. I bought this in a kit from No. 12 Stitch Co. And this is her beautiful linen. I can't remember what colour, but it is, I think it's 30, pretty sure it's 36 count, and I'm doing it 1/1. And it's going pretty well, really. It's probably half done. I love this linen. No. 1 Stitch Co. linen is just beautiful. And yeah, she kitted it all up, and it came with a little bird charm. And I keep this in this little folder I made a while back. So it's just nice for it to pop in there. I had so much fun making that with my hexies and everything. So I'm working through the list I've made to upload onto the drop-down box when we've finished. I've also worked on Soucis, which is another long dog sampler one. It was a stitch along. I'm not sure whether I actually started it as a stitch along or not, but this is it. And there's 9 pages. And this is some sort of Evenweave. I'm assuming it's a 36 count. And I'm working at 1/2 in, did I say 1/1 for that previous one? It was 1/2. I have got a 1/1, but not yet. So this is where that's at. I know there's bits floating everywhere. And this is, I actually wrote it down, DMC 3849. Just doing it all in that. And this is in another little project bag I had fun making at some time with the doilies. And I find making the project bags fun because I can be as creative as I like with them and just enjoy them. So I haven't even got quite to the top of this page yet. We've still got another bird and bits to go. So that's been worked on for quite a while. Right, turn the page. So then I've been having a bit of a tempting Tangles bug because they came out with a new stitch along to start with, and as one of my granddaughters said to me, "You like a stitch along, don't you?" And I said, "Yes, I do like a good stitch along." So Tempting Tangles has got a new stitch along called Starry Stable Nativity, and we have part 1 is already finished. Obviously, nice palm tree in the corner. I think this is the top of one of the figures in it. Might be Joseph. I'm not quite sure. There's a little hint kind of thing when you look it up on their website. And this was a bit of Evenweave something that I had, and I just dyed it with a bit of Rit dye because the thing suggested a blue. It comes up as grey. Even when I posted in the group it looked grey, but it's actually blue. It's getting a bit bluer there. So that was a fun little stitch, and it sort of set me off because then we had another pop-up challenge, which was Stitchy Bug, and it was to bring out a piece that you found challenging or you had to frog or there's some reason that was stopping you working on it. And I went and had a look. I had a couple of pieces that would have been possible, but this one for some reason I've just always struggled with. I remember starting it very impromptu. I just wanted to start attempting Tangles. This stitch along had already finished, but I just decided I wanted to do one, and I started this. And this is Rainbow Ruminations, and the original is all in rainbow colours. But at the time when I chose to do this, I really wanted to try out one of the colourless threads from, and it's a bit of a mess because they're thrown in a bag, the colourless threads from DMC. So this is 4503, and then the other colours I have just picked from these colours. And so when I picked up Stitchy Bug, I thought, picked it up for the Stitchy Bug challenge, I thought, oh wow, I'm pretty much halfway through this. No, I wasn't. I hadn't finished this side over here at all. So I've done all this down here. I've done the hue, I've done kaleidoscope, I've done, from here across that thing, and I'm just started on the word mottled again. So all from here across, I hadn't done the corner. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm even really enjoying the backstitch sections of it. I just seem to get in a bit of a zone and away I go. So when I finish this row, where the mottled is, that'll be halfway. So yeah, it's not as close to being a finish, but I'm enjoying it. And for the moment, that's why I've left it in the hoop. For the moment, I will keep working on that one as I feel. So a few other things have popped up. All right, another thing on my monthly challenge was the theme to the parade. And up in Toowoomba, which is inland from Brisbane, they have a flower festival every year and they have a flower parade. And I thought, well, I wanted to work on the hummingbird garden that a few people are doing. This is from Just Cross Stitch. It's their yearly stitch along, so you get 3 a year, and now they're having 4 issues a year, so the part 2's out as well. And Caroline was working on this, and every time she showed it I thought, oh, that's pretty, and I wouldn't mind doing another Caroline Manning, so I started it. But I'm just doing mine won't be the whole thing. I found this bit of opalescent 18 count Ada that was left over from another project. And I did the part 1, and it's still got to have a little gold centre. They will have a gold centre, I think, and I'll possibly do them together. But this piece of fabric is this long. Whoops. So I'm just going to pick and choose and do them in a row, and when I run out of room I'll stop. So I've done that one, and so for the July challenge, this is the Flower Parade one, I'm actually going to do number 2 underneath this one, and that'll be the theme. And they don't actually take that long. This one had quite a few colour changes. The next one I don't think has got as many. So, and you can buy a kit for it if you wish. I don't know whether it's still available, but if you look in the magazine it will tell you. I'm just using DMC conversion from the Sullivans. So that was a bit of fun. Then Sherry of Colorado Cross Stitcher came out with Stitch Camp, and she's doing a bit of a colour theme this year, and the first June's prompt was to take either a monochrome chart and turn it into different colours, or take a multicoloured chart and turn it monochrome. And you have to finish it in the month, so you have to find something small enough. So I decided I was going to, had a little look around, and I found this freebie from Couleur Tourterelle. Where did I write that down? Yeah, Couleur Tourterelle. It's French, obviously. My French is pretty rough. It was funny, I was doing this one. I haven't got a picture because it's, well, I didn't print one out. So basically an alphabet, and then you've got crowns on the bottom, and it's called La Pendule de l'Alexandra, and it actually means Alexander's clock, because there's going to be a clock in the middle here. And then there's another crown, there's a couple of candlesticks, and the rest of the alphabet. And I downloaded this into markup, and it was telling me I was only 30% done. And look, I've done all that border, and I'm thinking, I cannot be 30%. And then I went and had another look, and what happened is this comes in two different ways. You can get it as a colour chart or a black and white chart. And when I downloaded into markup, it downloaded both as one whole project. So I'm 30% if I actually stitched 2 of them, which I think might mean I'm sort of 60% of this one. And this is just a piece of Evenweave 20, I've even got it written on here, 25 count, and I'm stitching 1 over 1. A little while back, I actually went through all my linens and measured them and wrote the count on them, and they're all sorted into tubs. It is brilliant when you're going to find a little bit of fabric for something. You don't have to go measuring it all, you just look up your little note. And there'll be enough room on the other side for something else at some point. So I decided to do a 1 over 1, like Stitchy Mummy does all that 1 over 1, and actually I've quite enjoyed it on 25 count. Talked about that one, right? A couple, right, while I was on the Tempting Tangles bug, I'd also pulled out Perseverance, which I started as a cell. And I really enjoyed pulling this out again. I've done this and a bit of this, and I think I finished this off. And I haven't got a picture of it because it was also a stitch along mystery. You can see it now on their website. You buy it as a whole. So if you like what you're seeing, I'm just going to see when it came out. It's a 2021 stitch along. So yeah, but I'm not even halfway down on that one either. And I haven't looked, because she's actually got the whole thing up now, and I haven't looked. I'm still treating it as a mystery. So it got Perseverance is still king, and I don't know what the next word's going to be, because I've kept it as a mystery. So I've been enjoying working on that. So I've got the 3 Tempting Tangles ones now, these 2 and the new one. And I would like actually to try and get those finished this year and have a clean slate on the stitch alongs, because then when I start a new one, I'm still not backtracking on the old ones. And the other stitch along I couldn't resist, because I love Mushrooms and Toadstools, was the Owl Forest 2024 stitch along Mushrooms and Toadstools. And we've started in the middle. This was part 1 and 2 that came out together. This is part 3. This is part 3.
Greetings. Your son is calling you. Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to